Welcome back everyone, I'm Kate Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and you meet us in our pod in a new location. We are no longer in a cathedral, which means we're no longer in a Mars base. We are in the Democratic People's Republic of the Galente Federation, because I think we've done enough 4 out of 10 hunting. There are other regions you can explore which provide you lots of 3 out of 10s. And as we know, in the previous video, we made 344 million from a 3 out of 10, so you don't almost have to go for the big ticket stuff in 4 out of 10s. You can find plenty of money in 3s. So we've come to Galente space for a little bit of change. We've done Caldari space and we've done half of Mars, so I thought we'd come up here. So what are we doing today? We're going to buy another pirate or faction cruiser, and we're going to kit it out for running Cosmic Anomalies and the resulting escalations. Maybe a 4 of 10 if we find it via scanning, because that's the only way we're going to find it in Galente space. Which ship are we going to pick today? I think we should do a Stabber Navy issue. Why not? Let's go for it. This is the Stabber Fleet issue. It looks absolutely awesome. I love the way it looks. The paintwork, not so much, but we can fix that. Here are the bonuses this ship gets. For each level of Minmatar cruiser, you get 7.5% bonus to medium projectile turret rate of fire. That's obviously damage. Multiply that by 5 at level 5 and you get 37.5 faster rate of fire. That's a lot more damage. And you get a 10% bonus per level to medium projectile turret tracking speed. So at level 5 you get 50% better tracking, which makes it really accurate. And per level, you get a 5% bonus to medium projectile turret fall off. That's range. So at level 5, that's 25%. So this thing gets damage, tracking speed, and range. The holy trinity of gun bonuses, which is fantastic. Let's have a look at the fitting. We have 5 high slots, 5 of which can be turrets, 3 of which can be missiles. I'm not sure why you would fit missiles to this ship, because as we just saw, all of the bonuses are to turrets, so don't put missiles on a Stabber Fleet issue. Don't be stupid. Anyway, we're not going to be using 5 turrets. We're going to be using 4 turrets, because we need to save a slot for our scan probe launcher. We have 4 mid-power slots, 6 low slots, which leads me to think armor tank, because there's more lows than mids. And there are 3 rig slots. Mouse over, the calibration is 400 calibration. Pirate ships have 350. This is a Navy issue ship, so it has 400 calibration. Drones wise, we have 40 megabits a second and 40 cubic meter drone bay, which tells us we can use up to 4 medium drones. We'll probably just use 5 lights and leave the rest of the drone bay empty. So anyway, that's the introduction done. Let's get down to work. Right, let's do the high slots first. Very first thing we're going to do, Sister's Core Probe Launcher, on it goes. Weapons wise, I think we're going to go for autocannons on this ship. Medium, because we're only doing 4, we're going to do 4 425mm autocannon 2. Right, let's get some scan probes on this. Charges wise, the projectile turrets ammo is really weird. We're going to be using Phase Plasma M. There are 3 short range ammos, as we see, range bonus minus 50, but it does have the most damage. So Phase Plasma and EMP and Fusion are all short range high damage, but they do different damage types. Fusion does mostly explosive, a little bit of kinetic. EMP, as the name suggests, does mostly EMP, a little bit of kinetic, a little bit of explosive. Phase Plasma does mostly thermal and a little bit of kinetic. We're going to be fighting Serpentis up here, and they're weakest to kinetic, but they're secondary weakest to thermal. There is an ammo type which does mostly kinetic, but it's one of the longer range ones, so it does less damage. 12 plus 4 is only 16, whereas Phase Plasma, 20 plus 4 is 24. Strictly speaking, things like carbonized lead does mostly kinetic and a little bit of explosive, but only does 10 damage, but it does reach out 60% bonus. Depleted uranium is like your jack of all trades, range bonus 0, 6 thermal, 4 kinetic, 6 explosive. That's not quite the right mix. So I do want a short range high damage, so we're going to go Phase Plasma because that's the one that's kind of best. 214 DPS from just 4 guns with nothing else fitted. So let's improve the fit. Let's put an armor tank on this thing. Come down. We're going to do a reactive armor hardener, and we're going to do a medium armor repairer 2, and we're going to do a large compact cat battery to run them both. I mean, this ship has got power grid to burn. Because they're only fitting 4 guns and not 5, it saves us lots of power grid, so we can do lots of things. Next thing we're going to want is sensor booster, so we can target lock things nice and fast, and I'm going to get a tracking computer as well, just so we can track things. No, that's an enhancer, you idiot. Computer. So we can track things nice and fast. Not that the ship needs much tracking help, because it does have 50% better tracking speed already. Mouse over the guns, turret tracking 72.86, that's nice and fast. We'll just put a tracking speed script in. Scan resolution script goes in. Now the turret tracking is 82.37. Optimal range is only 1500 and fall off is 18. That's how projectile weapons work. They've got a very short optimal range, but their fall off is really long. When you're fighting at the edge of fall off, your chance to hit is 50%. When you're fighting at optimal range, your base chance to hit is 100. But then tracking comes into place, so you need to be accurate. The thing about Galaxy Space is that the Serpentis Hideaway and the Serpentis Refuge will both provide a 3 out of 10 escalation. Dens will provide a 5, so we're probably not going to do Dens. I might farm a couple of Dens just to see how the ship goes and to farm the cruiser commanders who will spawn there. I mean, if we get a 5 out of 10, I'll just do another special video on a heavy assault cruiser. But we're mainly going to be looking for hideaways and refuges. Now, when I said hideaway, I don't mean like the Forsaken, Hidden, or the other one, Forlorn Hideaway. These do not escalate. Do not trust anyone who tells you they do. I've been playing EVE Online since 2008. I have never had an escalation from any of those sites. So it's just the basic vanilla Serpentis Hideaway and the Serpentis Refuge are what we're going to be running. Now, I mentioned this because, as we know, refuges will drop you either at 0 or at 12 kilometers, and the hideaways will drop you pretty much at 12 or at 30. So we can either extend the range out to 30 or just use a propulsion module to close the range. Probably just put a prop mod on this thing. Do we think we need a micro warp drive on this ship? We've got enough space for one. Is it kept stable with it off? 14 minutes? That's probably enough for anything we need to do. Do we need to be approaching anything at 2100 meters a second? We'll just leave it on. It'll be fine. Right, let's address the low slots. Let's get some damage on, and that is gyrostabilizers for projectile turrets. There we go. Now the damage is 354, which is great. That's more than we need. Let's put some drones on this thing. We're just going to do some light combat drones, because most of the things we're going to be fighting are frigates and destroyers. Even in the Serpentis 3 out of 10, 99.99% of the enemies in the combat site itself are frigates. I think there's 3 cruisers in the whole site, and there's like 90 something frigates. So yeah. So we're going to do Caldari Navy Hornets, because they do kinetic damage, so we'll put 5 of those in. 435 DPS, more than we need. Right, one more low slot and 3 rigs to fill. What do we want to do? We could do a compact cat power relay, or we could do a compact a Tech 2 tracking enhancer, just to push the range and the tracking up even more. Not that we really need it, but I can't think of anything else to do. And then we'll do like a cap control circuit, so it's stable with most things running. And we're only going to need the micro warp drive to swoop in. Well, to approach the hideaways, which drop us at 30, so that's probably a good idea. One pulse of that will easily bring us within range. And in the 3 of 10, the 3 of 10 has 5 rooms, but you only actually have to do 4 of them. Room 1 splits off into rooms 2 and 3. There's 2 exits. Room 2 has all frigates and it's faster to run, but room 3 It's slightly slower to run because there's more enemies in there, but there is a cruiser, and the cruiser can drop nice things. And they both lead back into room 4 and then onto room 5. So you only have to do either rooms 1, 2, 4 and 5 or 1, 3, 4 and 5. You don't have to do all 5 rooms. But the distances are quite large, so that's another reason why micro warp drive. What else do we want to do on this ship? Well, actually, looking at the resistances are not great, so let's not do a tracking enhancer. Let's instead do an energized membrane. A compact energized membrane, just to push the resistances up. As we know, the reactive armor hardener will remove 15 from its EM and 15 from explosive and give it to the kinetic and thermal. So we'll probably end up with something like 65, 70 resist. That's probably going to be enough. Cap stable with most things. Anything else you want to do rigs wise? Could just put a couple of warp speed rigs on this thing. It's been a while since we actually fitted warp speed rigs on one of our anomaly farming. This just lets us get from site to site quicker, and that's definitely something we want to do. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to go with this ship. I'll go and buy this, and we'll have a look at the ship reveal, and then we'll undock and have some fun. Here we are. I do like the look of the stabber. Great big engines out the back, all the guns at the back, and the nice dragon head at the front. Very good looking ship. We might want to change the paintwork. We probably will. So let's plot a course and get out into space lanes and see what we can find.
Warp drive active.
Right, here we are. We're in the first system. There's a Serpentis hideaway straight away, so let's get in there. We know we're kept stable with the micro warp drive off, so we'll just turn everything else on. Sorry you can't see the ship, but I need to get the scanning sites done. Need to find out what else is in the system. We are, after all, explorers. Okay, looks like we're being dropped at 15. This is fine. Two guns on each. Yeah, this seems to be working okay. Okay, 2 combat sites. Interesting. Well, the autocannon seems to be tracking just fine. Even though it's almost at the edge of the range. There is a 3 out of 10 Serpentis Narcotics warehouse. Okay, we know where we're going straight after this hideaway then. Bam. There's 6 people in local. Right, let's go.
Warp drive active.
I've featured this site quite a lot on the channel, so it should be no surprise. In fact, we've even run this in a Tech 1 frigate in the Self-Sufficiency Challenge series that we did. Hey look, there's a 4 out of 10 Serpentis Phi Outpost. Right, we know what we're doing after this site then. Okay, room 1 is empty. No, it's not, it just took time. Right, let's approach these guys. The E-War in here is sensor dampening, which cuts down our maximum targeting range. But that's not an issue and takes us slightly longer to target things, but that won't be a problem. You will notice, even though we're really close, like very close to these guys, we're just tracking them no trouble at all. This supply traffic management is correctly labelled as an overseer's structure, because it does indeed hold some loot. So I'm going to blap that. I'll get the drones to... Oh, the drones are doing their own thing. That's fine. What is this? It's another 3 out of 10 Narcotics warehouse. Wow. Okay, Eve is being kind to us today. Man, the things you find when you have scan probe launchers. See, this is why I was quite happy to sacrifice one gun to be able to fit a scan probe launcher, because we wouldn't have found this site without it. We would purely be relying on farming anomalies and hoping to get escalations. That's perfectly viable, but I actually prefer to have a launcher. Okay, the building is dead. We need to grab this cargo container. For 2 reasons. That's a wormhole. Okay, we can get rid of the scan window now. There we go. Ah, we can see what we're doing. I'm going to take the left-hand gate, which goes to room 2, which is this faster one. Now, we want to take this traffic management key and the 5th tier's overseer's effects. This traffic key will let you bypass this first room and go through the right-hand gate, and only the right-hand gate. We are going to go through the left-hand gate because it's faster to run. Faster to run because this is a public site and we are in competition with everyone else in the system. Not that there's anyone showing up within 5AU. I have right-clicked a micro warp drive and set it to auto-repeat off, so each time I click it, it just runs once and then turns off.
Warp drive active.
So the plan is to do room 2 on this site, and then in the second site, I'll show you the blitz, because we have this key in our cargo. And this key is not consumed, it just stays forever. So if you're farming in Galenti space, just keep this key in your ship at all times. Right, let's approach the gate. Again, there's another little building. This will drop an overseer's box and possibly some other loot as well. Approach the gate, stupid ship. There we go. Get the drones out. They can go and play with them. The enemies will kind of appear at random intervals. Just put a little burst of speed on. Nope. There's a homefront operation just spawned in. Let's ignore that. Homefront operations are like miniature incursions. You need a fleet of 5 players. Well, 3 players if it's a frigate one, 5 players if it's a cruiser one. I'm not going to get into a huge rant about how to do homefronts. They're all different. They all need very specialised fits. You've got 6 tiers. Nothing else good. You don't need this key for anything, so just leave that one. And as we see the autocannons, hey look everyone, the drones have split the fire, even though I have focus fire activated. Because focus fire has never worked correctly in all the years I've played Eve. It's supposed to make all your drones target the same target, but it doesn't work and never has. Let's bring the drones back. We'll just kill this guy with our guns. Here we go. Right, into room 4 now. So we've bypassed room 3. We're now in room 4. That is a cruiser and it does drop loot. So I'm going to approach him. Just give ourselves one little squirter micro warp drive. Turn it off, put one gun on each of these. I mean, we just one-shotted that guy, so that's cool. Spit the dronesies out, they can go and play with one of them. Another squirter micro warp. Thank you, drones. Right, the drones can go and play with the frigates. I'm going to go and play with the boss, even though he's like almost dead immediately from our 4 guns, because we've got lots of damage. There is no building in this room, but the refinery headmaster will drop another one of these overseers boxes, which is nice. A little bit more money for us. Just kill all the frigates. There we go. 8th tier. If you do all 5 rooms, I believe you get a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th tier. We've got 5th, 6th and 8th because the 7th is back in room 3, the room we bypassed. Because it's 5th, 6th, 7, 8 and 9. 9 will be in the final room. The final room is the next room. So we're making good time on this site. Again, you will notice I have not been clicking keep at range or orbit. This is just me relying on the natural tracking from my guns. Because the ship itself gets a 50% bonus, and we increased that by another 30 due to the tracking computer. And autocannons have really good tracking anyway. Right, I'm just going to double click towards the gate. Low shield warning was that annoying sound, but we don't care because we're an armor tank. Okay, we're kind of missing a lot because these guys are actually orbiting us, but that's fine. It'll be fine. What would I put my keep at range? Probably like 15. You don't have to kill the gun turrets, you just have to kill all the ships and then the gate unlocks. There is no blitz, you have to kill everything in this room.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's right click keep at range, put it at 15,000 meters. Now, this room, this is a cruiser. He is not the boss. He does not drop any great loot. The thing that drops loot is this great big station. You have to destroy the station to complete the site. If we had sentry drones, like on a Stratios or a Vector Navy issue, or a long range laser or missile boat, we could just sit where we were and use a mobile tractor unit to pick up the loot. I'm going to have to actually go and blow this thing up myself. So I'm probably going to have to kill quite a lot of frigates on the way in. That's okay. We can do that. I'm going to put auto repeat on. Just try and pick off some frigates on the way in. Remember, this is a public site. Anyone can come in here at any time and give us a nasty little surprise. But it's not going to take us too long to kill lots of frigates. Now, when this station dies, the can spawns exactly where that icon is, so that is why I've come over this way. I didn't have to come this close to the station to get my guns into range, but I want to be sat right on that, so when it dies I can pick up the can straight away. But I am going to have to get rid of as many of these frigates as I can, because there are a lot of them in this site, as you can see. There is a lot of firepower in here. I mean, it's only frigate firepower, but there are a lot of them. You take enough stings from enough bees, you're going to have a bad time. So I'll just pick the ones off that are like 12, 15k. Just blitzing them. Easy peasy. When it looks like my tank is holding, I'll switch to blowing up the station. Okay, the reactive armor hardener has gone to 30-30. Our resistances are 65 and 59. That's probably alright. Right, I think the drones can take care of all the rest of the frigates. They'll be okay. Let's start blowing up the stronghold. It's going to stop my ship. This is why I wanted to get rid of as many frigates as I could, because I knew I would be sitting still for the duration of the site. No one on scan, no scan probes on scan. This is why there's no blitz for this site. I mean, as we saw, like in the Sancha 3 of 10, you kill the Dark Blood Alpha, you grab his loot, you leave. You can't do that on this. You've got to spend ages killing this massive station. But we do know that the building that you killed to get this can drop faction loot. The building we killed to get that can drop faction loot. The cruiser we killed to get that can drop faction loot. If we go back, and if we warp out of the site then warp back in, we can then take the right hand gate in room 1 and go and do room 4 if we wish. No, room 3. And get a 7th tier overseer from another commander cruiser who's in that room. And he can drop nice things. So the earning potential in this is pretty good. It does take quite a while. It's one of the longer 3 of 10s. Mind you, the Sancho one takes forever as well, but that's just because there's 6,000 million targets. Stronghold's nearly dead. The drones have almost killed all the frigates. There we go. That's it. We're right on top of the can. And we've got 239 million ISK, 4 dead space modules, and a faction blaster, and a 9th tier's overseer personal effect, which is worth, on its own, 2.1 million. Well, that's a lovely start to the day, isn't it? We've run 1 hideaway, and we found 2 3 of 10s and 1 4 of 10. Right, let's go and do the other 3 of 10.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so the plan for this one, bypass room 1, get straight into room 3. So we're not going to be doing room 2 either.
Warp drive active.
That one site has paid for this entire ship. So we've owned the ship for about 10 minutes, and we've paid for it already from the first site we ran. So, you know, nice. Okay, now we can just bypass this room. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Just click on the acceleration gate and we'll just go straight through this room. It does mean we're going to miss the supply traffic management loot drop, but it's a public site. Any one of the other 6 people in this system could come in at any time, so I just need to move and get on. Hopefully, anyone that does come in here will stay in room 1.
Warp drive active.
There we go. We can bypass this gate without killing anything, just straight through. Now, anyone who warps in here might think the site is pristine because room 1 is untouched. But surprise, it's not. I'm in the further rooms. Okay, this is room 3. As you can tell, it takes a little while. I'm going to approach this charge ammunition storage. There's nothing much good in there. I'm going to turn my armor repairer off. I'm just going to make sure I aggress all these groups. Or kill them as I fly past them at a huge rate of knots. All these little groups kind of aggress all together. This group here on the front left and this group here next to the gate are sometimes a little bit dodgy about aggressing, but looks like they're behaving themselves today. Right, drones can go out. I'm going to blip this guy. You cannot get into the charge ammunition storage until everything's dead, I don't believe. That might be true. Yep, cannot access it while it's being guarded. I'm just going to kill the cruiser and then I'll start picking off all the frigates that are like 10, 12 to 20. Right, let's approach his wreck, because he will drop an overseer's effect and maybe some faction loot as well. I'm not sure whether or not he counts as a command. It does say overseer cruiser wreck, so that leads me to believe he could actually be a commander wreck, which is Tech 2. So you might get Tech 2 salvage from that wreck. I'm not sure, I've never really tried it. Well, apparently Vortex compact mag stabs are worth 370k, so we'll take everything. I mean, this ship is just great. It's just tracking frigates, no trouble at all. The ship's got tracking bonuses. We've fitted high tracking weapons to it, and we've fitted a tracking computer with a tracking script. I mean, we're just mashing up this room very, very quickly. Even though that guy's slightly out of range, but you know. The drone's got him in the end. Okay, I'm just going to double click close to the gate so we're moving. And the drones will get that guy, and then we'll be on to room 4. I'm not going to show you room 4 and room 5, I'll just skip through. In fact, why don't we just get a very quick little musical piece on? Okay, let's go. Right, well that didn't take long. And our survey said only 2.29 million. Oh well, we can't get 300 mil every time. Bring the drones back. This site is done. Reload and onto the 4 of 10, I guess.
Warp drive
Now
active.
there is a healer on scan, but he's showing up at 1 AU and the Phi Outpost is 2.8 away, so I think the healer might be doing rooms 1 and 2, but he's in for a nasty surprise because I've finished the site. Okay, let's have a go at the 4 of 10. 4 of 10 is 2 rooms.
Warp drive active.
This room is full of cruisers, battle cruisers and frigates, with a locked gate which you can only access by killing everything. You used to need a key card to get through this gate, but that was changed because it was stupid. The key is in that red can inside that asteroid, and people would just come in this site, grab the key and then leave and sell the site on contract, leaving the site broken because you needed the key to get through the site. It used to be the case that the key was not consumed, so that was not a problem because you could just go and get another key or keep one key in your cargo, like the 3 of 10 key here. But then in their infinite wisdom, CCP, the developers of EVE Online, changed it so that the key to this gate was consumed and you needed to have one each time you did the site. So people would just steal the key and sell them on contract and the site would be broken forever. And it was very stupid. And luckily, after many years of us complaining about that, they changed it. I do need to be slightly careful here. There are battle cruisers in this pocket, so I'm just going to change my gunfire on the battle cruiser and we'll get the drones to kill the frigates. 3 battle cruisers, couple of cruisers, lots of frigates. Nothing that's going to trouble a Stabber Navy issue that's doing lots of damage. You know, I'm not even particularly paying attention to what's going on. More and more people coming into this system all the time, which is making me nervous. But then none of them seem to be running combat sites. You do need to fly into the asteroid to open the red box to get the key, which is a little bit annoying, but there we go. Apparently the drones have decided to kill a cruiser for some reason. Right, let's just approach this casket. You can't get in until you've killed a certain number of bad guys. Cannot access it while it's being guarded. Not a huge issue for me. Now we're kind of taking our time to kill that battle cruiser because he's a little bit far away, but everything else is nice and close. Everything being nice and close is great because autocannons like that. Autocannon go brrr. There is a blitz in the second room. There is a boss ship you can kill. It's a battleship. He's worth 2.5 million, and he is strangely weakest to thermal and not kinetic. And guess who does mostly thermal damage? That's right, we do. But he does tank like an absolute beast. He's really fast. He hits absolutely hard, and there's lots of cruisers and battle cruisers in his pocket. So if you've got long range, you can just plink him. I don't think we're good enough to face tank the whole room, so we might have to do a full clear in room 2. I don't like having to do that, but we might have to. Is this box open yet? No. Apparently it's still being guarded. Maybe if you kill these 2 Corelli guards after the cruiser. The tank's kind of holding alright. We're killing stuff fast enough that the tank's going to recover. Here we go, the tank's going back up now. That's what you call a DPS tank. Apparently it's still guarded. Is it still guarded now? Yes, it is. That cruiser is an annoying distance away. I'm actually quite glad that my drones are attacking that. Hey, they killed it. Nice one, drones. Okay, we're in the can. We need this. But you don't need the stolen passkey anymore, because the gate unlocks when everything's dead. Right. Reload them, bring the drones back, get through the gate onto room 2, which is the second and final room. This may be a little bit seat of your pants.
Warp drive.
But I'm sure we'll be
active.
fine. You said confidently. 65, 59 resists. This might be a little bit gnarly. Ideally, I'd go for the battleship. Hey, look, everyone's disappeared. I think everyone who was here was running that homefront operation, and now it's disappeared. That Gila's still on scan, which is weird. There's the battleship. As you see, bounty 2.5 million. When we look at his resists, his weakest is thermal. He's got 80% kinetic damage resistance, which is really annoying. Okay, I think I'm going to go down here for this little bottom group. This cruiser first. We'll try and black these frigates as we leave them in our wake. Oh god, this room can actually be quite nasty. People have had bad experiences in this room. Okay, I'm bouncing off the scenery. Okay, I've listed these frigates too far behind. That's fine. Just need to get rid of the cruisers. Okay, here comes everything. Everything agresses. I may have to do some fancy flying. Spit out the drones. Drones can just do whatever. As long as they don't attack the battleship. Okay, they're on a frigate. That's good. Next target needs to be this cruiser. In fact, I'd rather go and get that battle cruiser. Yeah, maybe an afterburner would have been a better choice. I think our speed's only something like 800 and something with a battle with an afterburner, but it would be cap stable. So maybe that would have been a better choice. Then micro warp drive's better for the 3 of 10 because then you can skip through the first room and the fourth room. Well, that's EVE Online. It's compromises and choices. Because this site is very rare. You only ever find it from scanning because it does not escalate from any of the other combat sites. If you can just grind down all these cruisers and battle cruisers, then we should be okay. I mean, the tank's holding fine. We're still doing a respectable 300 meters a second, even though we're not actually having a prop mod. So, you know, it'll do, it'll do. Apparently the drones have decided to split the fire, because of course they have, because focus fires never worked correctly in all the years I've played EVE Online. Drones, kill frigates please. I mean, if anyone else comes in this site, they'll just blap the battleship and be on their merry way. I've done that to people myself in this site. But I'm going to do a full clear like a noob, because I need to get this DPS off the field. A little squirk at micro warp, just to get my speed up, just for a couple of seconds, just to take some pressure off. Then we need to go for this battle cruiser. So just kind of double click in the general direction. Balls, now the battleship's aggressed me. That's not good. Yeah, he does occasionally fire missiles at you quite slowly, which is a little bit annoying, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Drones, why are you attacking the battleship? You're like drones, you're supposed to prioritise frigates, for goodness sake. I applaud your efforts, gentlemen, but you're not really helping. Okay, tank seems to be a little happier. Seems to be another battle cruiser here, so let's approach that. You see the battleship's firing yellow, that means he's firing blasters, so at short range this guy will mash us up. But that's okay, because we're short range as well, so we're going to have to get short range. But it's okay, we're faster than him, we'll just orbit him in a nice tight circle. He can't even hit us now. I'm just watching my tank very carefully, and also watching everything else. I don't know what this healer's doing. I would have thought he would be running sights, but apparently not. Little squirt of micro warp, just because we took a little hit there. Just going to reload my guns. It only takes 10 seconds to reload projectiles. Not a huge issue. Just need to get my speed up and get a little bit away from the battleship. Because the battleship that's hitting me that's doing the damage. Yes, I know, that was a low armor warning. We'll be fine. I believe we've removed all this DPS in the field and the tank is still unhappy. I told you, man, this second room can be a thing. It can be a real thing. Yes, turning on the micro warp drive did balloon my signature radius, making me a larger target, but the extra speed more than compensated for that. Ow. Big heavy missile in my face. I hate taking this long to do this sight. I hate it. It hurts me in my bones. Right, let's get the last cruiser. Where is it? It's up here. Okay, let's go. Yes, I know, low armor warning and the cap's not happy either, but you know, I had to get range. Right, I think we're going to orbit this guy at like, oh God, I don't know. We'll orbit him at a distance, which is yet to be determined. Just going to double click close to it, give ourselves a little squirt of micro warp. What should my orbit distance be? 10k? Let's go for that. 10,000. Orbit 10,000. Another hideaway spawned in. That's good. We'll do that after this. Just gotta hope that... I'm gonna turn off the armor rep just for a couple of seconds. Is he gonna miss us at 10k? Okay, what if we orbit him at 5,000? Just orbit him nice and close. In fact, what if we orbit him at 2.5? Get real close. Ow, he hit me then, but the tank's okay. Just need to recover a little bit of cap. Because we were burning the micro warp drive a lot in this room. Okay, this guy tanks like an absolute beast. I mean, the only thing that's hitting us now is his missile, and he doesn't fire that very often. I really want to orbit him at 500 so I can grab the loot. The loot comes from this guy. As you can tell, no overseer's building. All the loot is in this one ship. He is taking a while to go down, but he is going down. He is armor tank. No, see, he's just repaired himself. The swine. 80% can resist and repairs his own armor. He can be a bit of a troublesome opponent, but I think we'll be okay. He is going down. We've got him in structure now. Me and the drones, even though the drones are barely doing anything, because they are kinetic drones, so they're not actually hurting him very much. But every little helps. Maybe their 1 or 2 DPS that's getting through is the factor of him breaking his tank. I mean, we could have used Hail, which is the short range, very high damage Tech 2 ammo, but I think Hail is mostly kinetic and explosive, and they're quite high resists. We could of course have used Republic Fleet Phase Plasma to give ourselves an extra 15% damage, but we're grinding it down. You can see why I didn't go for the Blitz. We had to get everything in this room dead. We just had to. Okay, now I know for a fact that this guy is a Tech 2 ship, and you will get Tech 2 salvage from his wreck. What's in the box? 3 Dead Space modules, but only worth a total of 26 million. Wah wah. Right, let's go and do this hideaway.
Warp drive active.
So we've basically done one system, and we've done a couple of hideaways, 2 3 of 10s and a 4 of 10, and we've got 276 million ISK. Not too bad really, is it? The commanders of these guys will be Shadow Serpentis, so we see anything with Shadow in the name, kill it instantly. It's a commander. Right, nothing there. I'm going to move on.
Warp drive active.
We did say we were going to have a look at the skins on the ship. Do we have any skins? Oh, yes, we do. Biosecurity, black and blue, Arms are classic, Halcyon Dawn, yellow and black, Nephantar, kind of steel. Oh, I like Nephantar, that's cool. Spirit, a little bit dark. Very core, very dark. Right, let's do Nephantar then. Sweet.
Warp drive
Okay,
active.
refuge. Let's do a refuge. We haven't done any refuges. I'm hoping to find refuges, and we're not going to find any dens in this place because dens only spawn in 0.6 and 0.5, and I think the lowest security in this particular constellation is 0.8. Wow. As I said, there's no real point in doing dens. The only reason I would do den is if I had no hideaways, refuges, or anything else to do, and I wanted to just go and hunt for a cruiser commander. That's the only reason I would even look at a 5 of 10. A den, I mean. They lead to 5 of 10s. But as you can see, this ship is absolutely amazing. Even though it's only got 4 guns and it could have 5, and the drones will split fire again, because of course I have. This ship is fine with just 4 guns, thank you very much. It took a little while to kill the 2.5 million-isk battleship in the 4 of 10, but that's to be expected. He is a tanky boy. But other than that, this ship just absolutely murders frigates and destroyers, and even cruisers and battle cruisers were dropping like stones. Well, nothing happened in this refuge, that's it. Bring the drones back. We'll just kill that missile battery just because. This is one of the refuges that only spawn like 2 waves. Sometimes you get 5 or 6 waves. This one was very disappointing. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that the destroying the towers is somehow connected to the chance of a commander or escalation. They don't know what they're talking about.
Warp drive active.
As I said, I've been playing EVE Online since 2008, and I have run literally tens or even hundreds of thousands of these sites. Whether or not you blow up the towers has no bearing on anything, so don't listen to anyone that tells you it does. I'm not even sure what their theory is, like maybe leaving the towers alive gives you a better chance? I mean, I don't know. Okay, this is one of the hideaways that dropped us at 30, so we'll just do one little squirt of micro warp. Shoot this guy on approach because we're a turret weapon, and that means you can always hit all the way out to whatever your targeting range is. I mean, maybe getting a little bit too close now. I'm just going to stop the ship. Well, we closed the range in about 3 seconds flat. It's just a crappy wormhole. Get rid of that. I don't think I need to continue with this constellation. We've done 2 3 of 10s, a 4 of 10, the 2 different versions of hideaways and a refuge. I don't think there's anything else I need to show you for this ship, so I'm going to go back to the station.
Active.
And I'll see you there. Let's go. Alright, made it back to station in our lovely Nephantar painted ship. It looks much better than that stupid camel paint, doesn't it? What a wonderful looking skin. And what a wonderful ship the Stabber Navy issue is, or Fleet issue as it is actually called. It destroys frigates and destroyers and cruisers and battle cruisers with ease. The only thing it ever had trouble with was the 2.5 million-isk battleship, and that's to be expected. He's a very tough boss. We found lots of sites. We did them all with no trouble at all. We found a butt ton of stuff. We made 272 million-isk, and I had a great deal of fun. I hope you had fun watching this. and I hope to see you again for the next video, where we're going to do another pirate or faction cruiser for doing exactly the same thing in exactly the same place. So hope to see you for that, and I hope you look after yourself until then. I'll see you later.